Hi, it's Dave from MarketBuy. I'm just preparing a new demonstration for you all due to the fact that we've made some fairly significant changes over the last couple of weeks, so we needed to update it just to bring in some of our new functionality. What you see on the screen is a representation of 4 different web pages. We've set it up this way so you can follow what happens with each participant as we go along. So we're going to make or get buyer A to make a first offer. Put an offer in of 600,000. They're going to place that offer, and you'll notice that this now updates across all screens. The other thing you'll notice is there's some significant differences between what each participant sees on their screen. So obviously with buyer 1, there's an offer history there. Buyer 2 also sees there's an offer history. The owner can see that there's an offer, and the agent has a whole host of other controls. So while their offer history shows that buyer 1 has made an offer, they have these drop down boxes, and these drop down boxes allow the agent to control the sale as they're going on. They can add participants, they can see where the participants are, which buyer has made the offer, they can adjust timers, they can declare properties on the market, and they can set reserves if need be. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to get the agent to make a counter offer. So we've got an offer of 600. Let's suggest that the owner wants 660. They make their counter offer, put in their password, and they set their time to act. Now the time to act is there to induce the buyers to act within a time frame that you set rather than the time frame they set. I think we've all had situations where you're negotiating with a buyer, you provide them with an offer or a counter offer that the owner will accept, and they say to you, we'll talk about it with our partner and we'll call you back tomorrow. And then you're left hanging waiting for them to get back to you. Well, this starts to set the parameters for those buyers to respond in a period of time that you nominate, as opposed to waiting for them at an open-ended type of arrangement. And for the sake of this, we're just going to leave it at 4 hours. We place our counter offer, and what it now does is that will update across the different screens. And you'll see as we go on that the information displayed on each person's screen is really customized to where they are in the sale process. For instance, buyer 1 can see that there's been a counter offer. It clearly says that the owner will accept. In the offer history, it shows as a counter offer with a home icon, and they're able to see that the owner has responded with a counter offer of 660. Buyer 2, however, has currently not made an offer. They've not participated in the sale. So from our point of view, they really are just spectators or viewers. They don't get to see the benefit of the counteroffer. And the reason for that is quite simple. If you're negotiating in good faith with a buyer and you're going backwards and forwards and trying to get to a suitable sale price, and you provide a counteroffer that the vendor or the owner will accept, that's not information that you would generally make widely available. That's not information that you would generally provide to everyone. That is generally information that is specific to that one buyer you're negotiating with, and this is very much the same. From the owner's point of view, the owner can see that there's been a counteroffer clearly. The agent can see that there's been a counteroffer, and again, in the offer history, there's a little bit more information there for the owner and the agent. So the agent is able to see the conditions. They can see that it's a building pest and finance clause for $350,000, and so can the owner. The buyers, however, don't get to see the individual conditions from each participant. Although that is an option that it is available if you really need it. In this instance, we've not provided those conditions available to the buyers. And it gives us an opportunity with buyer 2 to really say to them that if they want to see the full amount of information, if they want to see everything that is happening within the sale, then they need to participate. The system at this stage treats them very much as a viewer or very much as someone who is sitting on the sidelines. It allows us as an agent to really ramp up the pressure on those buyers and say to them, look, if you want to have the benefit of the full information of what's happening in the sale process, then you need to demonstrate that you are legitimately a buyer and you need to participate. And by participate, you need to submit an offer. Let's say they take that advice and they do. We'll get them to place an offer of $620,000. They put in their password, they submit their offer, and again, all the screens will change. So now, from both the buyer's page's point of view, that counteroffer has now disappeared. We're now in a multiple offer situation that's no longer necessary, or the counteroffer is no longer relevant to the sale. Obviously, from the agent's point of view, we keep the counteroffer in the offer history, and it just shows as a line through it to show that it's no longer current or no longer relevant, and the same with the owner. There is now a red light that shows up next to the prices, and that red light says that the property has not yet met the minimum, or for want of a better term, the reserve. Now, we haven't set a reserve or a minimum price, acceptable price in the back end when we're setting up this sale. It's up to the agent to decide when the property's on the market. And they can do this quite simply. So in the agent's control panel, they have, again, a number of different controls that they can use. And one of those controls is to either pause the sale or to send it on the market. And let's suggest that we've got an owner that has said, well, we wanted 660, but 620 is enough. We're happy to take 620. You can send that property on the market simply by putting your password in. The light will go green across the board. Everyone will see that the property is now on the market. They will have each received emails to say that the property will be sold, and a second stage timer kicks in. Now, that second stage timer is set by the agent and can be adjusted at any time. Say, for the purposes of this, we've set it at 10 minutes. If I wanted to change that to 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever I wanted to do, it's very easy to do. We just simply set that change, put in our password, and again, that will update across all our users' screens. Obviously, in a live sale, you're probably not going to set a timer for a minute, but it's useful to do this for the purposes of just making sure that it happens nice and quick. If we now have a situation where someone puts in an offer and, let's suggest they want to put in a 630, but they put in too many zeros and put in a $6.3 million offer, then obviously you're going to have a buyer that's on the phone to you fairly quickly. It's very easy to rectify. Once again, from the agent's point of view, you can simply just reject the last offer. Reject the offer, put in your password, and it will take that out. You can contact that buyer, let them know that obviously there's been a mistake made and they need to resubmit that offer. Everyone will get an email to say that an offer has been rejected, and it will simply show up again as a line through the offer history to show that there's been an offer made and it's been rejected. There's a number of reasons why you may reject an offer, obviously, but one of the main reasons we see offers rejected is simply because a purchaser has made a mistake when they're inputting their offer. They've done it too quickly, and it just gives those agents the control to be able to make those changes if need be. Again, we can see our participants, we can see which buyer has made which offer, we can see what our conditions are, and in this instance we have a buyer who currently is holding the highest offer, but they are subject to building, pest and finance. We have our second buyer that is slightly less, but they are an unconditional sale. And in many cases, we've had situations where agents have requested that they don't necessarily always want to take the highest offer. In a lot of cases, you can find that an offer that is slightly less, whether it be $1,000 or $5,000, but doesn't have any conditions on it, is more attractive to an owner. Again, the owner can see the conditions, so the owner is aware that one is subject to pest and building, and one is an unconditional. In this particular instance, the timer has elapsed. That minute that I'd set for the second stage timer has elapsed, and instead of finishing, the sale has now gone into what's known as confirmation pending. And from an agent's point of view, obviously you have that opportunity to discuss where you're at with your owner and to make a decision. Now, what you would generally do, or what we suggest you would generally do, is the first buyer who's holding the highest offer, you would give them a call. You would simply let them know that the offer that's below them is unconditional, and they have that opportunity to remove their conditions if they wanted to proceed. If you have a buyer that decides that they don't want to and they're not willing to, and the owner is still determined or willing or wanting to take the unconditional offer, it's very easy. You can accept either one of these offers. If there were 4 buyers there, you can choose the offer that is most appropriate to the owner and select the one that best suits their needs. So in this instance, we're going to go for the unconditional sale. We simply accept it, put in our password, and the sale will come through as ended. Now again, we don't tell buyers that they've bought it. We don't tell buyers that they've got the highest offer. You can see buyer 1, it just simply says that unfortunately you did not have the selected offer for this property. Buyer 2, it says you have the selected offer for this property of $620,000. We'll be in contact with you shortly to discuss your offer and what's needed to move forward. So that is a very quick demonstration of how the software works. There's a lot more details, there's a lot more bits and pieces that you can do obviously with the sales and with the property, but I wanted to keep this short to give you a very much an overview of how this works really effectively as a communication tool. From our point of view, we are very, very adamant. We've now been working with this and working with agents around the country for the last couple of years. We're adamant that agents are the ones that are central and critical to a sale process. It's important that you maintain that buyer feedback, maintain that buyer management. But what this really does is support you in delivering that information to all stakeholders, to everyone involved in the sale process quickly, efficiently, and easily. If you've got any questions, I'm always available. You can contact me on 0438 590157, or alternatively I can be caught most of the time at the office on 8727 0333, or shoot me an email at dave@marketbuy.com.au. Thanks for that.